Hello YouTube, hope everyone's keeping well out there. Another pickups video for the months of July and August 2022. There's a little bit of a mixed bag here as per usual, and there's not too many things. I've been a bit more frugal and savvy with my pickups this month, and there just hasn't been the bargains that I've been looking for. You know, you're at the mercy of what you find about at charity shops or about on eBay, or just what you need for the collection. I just don't pick any old thing up. But there's a little mixed bag here. I'm going to start with a DVD. Now, I did allude to this in my previous pickups video where I don't want many cartoons from my past. I think it was last pickups video I picked up Dungeons and Dragons, the box set of that, and I did mention this, and still sealed, new, and it's Ulysses 31. I used to absolutely love this cartoon. This is one of my top cartoons, I'd say, from my youth. I think it shows that I sort of swayed towards the more sort of serious, dark cartoons, where it seemed, you know, dark at the time. I always remember the famous scene where they're in the ship, the mothership. I forget the name of it. It must be the Odyssey if it's to do with Ulysses. I think it's the Odyssey, isn't it? And all the crew are just in stasis, floating about, and it just had this really eerie kind of feeling. And then you've got the little robot, what's he called again? Nanu, or Yu, Yin Yang? I can't remember his name, but he was the comic relief in there. But I used to really enjoy this and the adventures of Ulysses. He looked really cool and badass with his kind of blaster and lightsaber. Really good show. Wasn't it a French animation studio that produced this, and they might have produced Inspector Gadget as well, but it did have influences of anime, Japanese anime and manga. But yeah, one of my top cartoons. How to get that one. I don't find all the cartoons hold up to nowadays, but this one I watched probably a couple of years ago now on files that I managed to acquire, and yeah, I still thought it held up quite well. Right, all the rest is gaming related. But I'm going to start off with a book, and I saw Geordie Slasher, aka Hoey the Games, Mark, pick this up, and it's Dead Space, a series that's very close to my heart. One of the best game series from before last generation now, isn't it? The Xbox 360, PS3 generation in my book. And I'm really looking forward to the remake or remaster that it's a remake, I believe, that they're bringing out. But yeah, this game was great. I'm very selective, like I am with, well, all of my collection on what books I'm going to get. They have to be from games that either games that really connected with me, or B, just had a fantastic art style that I was a huge fan of. I'm really into my art, so you know, that sort of thing really does appeal to me. What I'll do is I might do a little cutaway section where I show some of the pages of this, rather than holding this up to the camera. But yeah, some of the creature design in this and the location, atmosphere designs of the ship are just excellent. So there's that one. Right, gaming related, I'm going to go through chronological order. This is a peripheral that I've been after for a while. And it's not particularly exciting, but it's a Spectrum joystick interface. I got this from Revival Games. I covered this retro game shop that's local to me in a couple of videos back. And yeah, it's in lovely condition for its age. I did buy a previous one, but silly me, because I've got the Spectrum 128K, this port was on the same part as where you connect the joystick in there, and because of the depth of the actual keyboard computer itself, you couldn't get access to it. So it was a foolish mistake. That was for I think just the Spectrum Plus or 48K, but this works fine with a 128. I tested it out on Target Renegade the other day and had a whale of a time. So I can now play properly with my lovely micro switched cruiser joystick, which I won't put up there because that was from a previous pickups video. Right, next in order, jumping on to the Super Famicom and a Japanese game for the Super Famicom SNES that I've been keeping an eye out for, and this come up for a great price. I'm looking down here at the name of this thing, which I'm clearly going to butcher. Nangoku Shounen Papawa-kun. And it's basically a little action platformer. It's in lovely condition. He plays this chap here, but in game he kind of looks like a chibi version of Bruce Lee, though that's how he reminds me anyway. But it's a lovely little platformer, really tight controls, lovely colours, nice graphics, nice sort of peppy music. And yeah, you do kicks, sweeps, special attacks and things like that. You don't really need to know Japanese for this. The occasional NPC that you find in the game comes up with a little speech bubble and says some stuff, but I mean, you know, it's not going to be Shakespeare that you're missing out on. It's not like it's an RPG. You can just jump in and play this. And yeah, I got this from Japan, from a company in Japan, and they said this was in acceptable condition. And I've got a feeling they made an error with this, because I got this for dirt cheap. I think I paid about £32 for this, and that's typically what you would pay for just the cart. This is complete, so I'm really happy with that. It's in, and the Japanese really do look after their stuff, don't they? If something they grade as, you know, acceptable or good would be very good or almost mint in England. So yeah, really pleased to get that one and looking forward to putting some more time into it. On to the PlayStation 1 we go. Now, I know the N64 gets a bit of a bashing for, you know, hasn't aged very well, and I'd argue that really it's that generation, the PlayStation 1 and the N64, that first generation of 3D gaming that hasn't aged well. Not all the games, but a lot of them. I know the N64, for example, has its fogging issues and its blurry pixels, where the PlayStation had really standout pixelization that would almost flicker in some instances. But anyway, going slightly off topic, this is a game that I think's aged really well, and it's Future Cop. I remember keeping an eye out for this about a year ago and really wanting to get it. I love the look of it, isometric game. And literally at that same time, Metal Jesus Rocks put out a video, and he covered this one on one of his Hidden Gems videos, I believe. And then, would you know, all the prices started going up, and I was kind of missed the boat. But I still got this for a reasonable price, so I'm really pleased with this. It's all complete. It's like crack on the cover. But yeah, this kind of game has aged really, really well. The controls are really tight. You play as this kind of Ed 209-esque Future Cop machine thing, and yeah, you just got to go around blowing things up and shooting the bad guys and clearing up this dystopian near future city. And yeah, I've only played it a couple of times, but I've really, really enjoyed it. It has aged very, very well. Highly recommended. There's that one. To the Dreamcast, another peripheral. Where am I going to put it? At last, I've got a steering wheel that works. Many pickups vids ago, I picked up a Ferrari steering wheel and the blimmin' thing didn't work, and it came with the pedals, and I've been looking online for reviews of decent wheels, and there's nothing really conclusive. And this one's kind of always seen as okay, and I got this from Revival Games the same time I picked up the interface there from Revival Games, and this works really, really well. It's got a little bit of a weight to it, which I was surprised at. It looks like it's just going to be light as a feather, but what I do is I've got like this foamy kind of rubbery mat that I put on this table, put this on top so it grips it a little bit better, straight in front of the TV there. And Crazy Taxi, it gives it so much more of that arcadey feel. It is just great. I did try this with the Metropolis Street Racer, and that's a little bit more simmy, that requires much more skill and dexterity with the controls, and I don't think it works for those games. It won't work for every single, well, it will work for many driving games on the Dreamcast, but it's not ideal for those games. I think it's really good for more of the arcadey games. So yeah, I'm looking to pick up, is it Wheels of Thunder? It's like a four-wheel drive race, and it's supposed to be cool. That looks really arcadey, and that apparently works quite well with that, so that's on my to get list. But finally, pleased that I've got the steering wheel for the arcade behemoth that is the Sega Dreamcast. Right, moving through the generations. This was a recent purchase just for £1 down a charity shop. My wife always goes on about how she used to love playing The Sims. Picked this up for her. Not sure if she'll ever play it, but apparently this is well reviewed, and you know, one night when we eventually get some time together from our daughter, we could even have a few glasses of wine and play this and have a bit of fun. Another same charity shop actually, but a week or two prior to that, I picked up Turok Evolution. I know this isn't supposed to be an amazing game, but for £1, and you know, the Turok series on the N64 is so nostalgic for me, I had to pick it up. Yeah, I do like these compilations. Midway Arcade Treasures 2. Plenty of sort of bang for your buck with this. I can't remember where I got this one. I want to say down Revival Games again. I think it was. All complete. Sort of games we've got on here. All the Mortal Kombats, 2, 3, Gauntlet, Spy Hunter 2, Zybots, Narc, Cyberball, Total Carnage, Pit Fighter, Primal Rage. Yeah, lots of goodies on there. What should we do next? Go on to the 3DS. Rayman 3D. Gradually working my way through the games that I want for the 3DS, but it's really slowed down now. I think the prices are starting to go up. I've missed the ball a little bit with a few of them. Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, for example, I was seeing that for, you know, a reasonable price, and I had a few opportunities to pick it up at said price, but god blimey, it's over doubled in price now. But you know, that's just the nature of the collecting beast, isn't it? But Rayman I've always really liked. I remember playing that back in the day. I think my first introduction to Rayman was on the Game Boy Advance when I owned it, and I really enjoyed it. Beautiful, bold, colourful graphics. A great franchise for Ubisoft. Nothing too special, but Samba de Amigo. I think it was in the last pickups video that I showed off the maracas that I found down my favourite charity shop for £1.50. Didn't have the game for the thing though, so I picked this up at a charity shop again for £1. So the set is complete. I think my daughter will have a great time with that with me and the wife when she's a little bit older. I had this, I swear of it, and I can't remember. This must have got lost in a house move or something. I definitely owned this. Battalion Wars 2. I know the GameCube version is really good and supposed to be a bit better than this in all honesty, but I had to pick this one up again. It was one of those niggle games for my Wii collection. Still, only a couple more to go for the win. I'm kind of done with that. And this one, I had to pick up Assassin's Creed 4 on the Wii U. I've heard it's a little bit buggy and slow, but the people that do sing this game's praises say that the actual control pad, the Wii U control pad, works quite nicely with this. And I mean, I've got plenty of Assassin's Creeds on the PlayStation 4, so just having one that doesn't have that graphical fidelity on a different system doesn't really bug me too much. So yeah, I'd be interested to play an Assassin's Creed 4 game on the Wii U. And I think this one you're predominantly on the ships, and it is generally considered as, you know, quite a good game. But I'll play that in a while. I'm a little bit burnt out still with Assassin's Creed, although I haven't played one since a good couple of years yet. But the formula tends to stay the same, doesn't it? So there you go. That was it. It's relatively short, but sweet, I believe. And yeah, let me know what you think to these games. Let me know if any of you have heard and played of this one. It's really, really good. Really good game. That's it, people. Hope everyone's taking care out there. Everyone stay safe, and I'll see you again. I've just been editing my video that I filmed earlier today, the pickups video, and there was one piece that I left out. I completely left it out. And the reason for that is it was quite delicate. It was on the floor with the rest of my pickups. It has glass on it. and my daughter was roaming about, so I moved out of the way. But yeah, completely forgot it, but had to include it. Basically, Nick from Retro Break, the YouTube channel Retro Break, had a competition, good couple of months ago, and it was to do with the 3D box art that can be made up, and you'll see what it is in a minute. And basically, he requested people to put in what game they would like to see made into a piece of art. I put mine in, one of my favourite games of all time, Super Castlevania 4, and I won the competition, and it came through in August, so here it is. Really pleased with it. And it's by a company called Arc-ives. I shall leave their details in the description below. Really pleased with it. I said I really like the iconic intro scene from the game, so they used that and made that up. But I'm yeah, really pleased with it. It looks really good. And thank you again, Nick, for giving us YouTubers the opportunity to sort of chime in and win a prize. So yeah, really pleased with that. And this looks really cool in pride of place up on my wall there next to my Simon Belmont amiibo figure. Thanks very much.